Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers.
This movie is like, it is like kind of a little bit a weird thing for me, you know. I didn't make only disaster movies. I started with science fiction movies. I made a movie called The Patriot. Jolie was in it, and you know, it's a little bit for me, you know, a little bit feels strange that constantly people talk to me about disaster movies. I think I love disaster movies. But I also love movies like this, and I was really fighting very hard, you know, to make a movie like this. And actually, I used the success of a disaster movie, you know, to make a movie like this.
In a way, the way I see it is that William Shakespeare, our William Shakespeare, is sort of the hero of the piece, because he builds the globe, you know, and he bribes Oxford to build the globe. And he keeps the secret just that, a secret. And so in our story, if he hadn't have done that, then you know, the world might not have had the plays that we have now.
I play Edward de Vere, the Earl of Oxford, the author of these works.
Who knew that was a punchline?
Wait for it. He has a mind like a creamy pumpkin, the size of a universe. I'm still doing this, playing this part, so it's kind of, I don't like talking about my characters behind their back.
To ask the actors one by one if they could just give.
So I'm kind of deeply moved by the whole thing, and talking to you is a nuisance.
Well, I'm playing Elizabeth in the very, very last years of her life. And so that's a very specific, shock-ridden, horror-ridden spectrum moment of her life.
I play the young Elizabeth, youngish, and with a great deal of help from hair and makeup. And you know, any actor, actress, whatever, you get the chance to play Queen Elizabeth, whether it's for 2.5 seconds or, you know, 2 hours. You are absolutely thrilled. So, you know, when Roland asked me and he asked Mum, I'd worked with Roland before, so it's always really wonderful to work with someone a second time.
I play the young William Cecil, Lord Burleigh, the middle-aged William Cecil, the old William Cecil, and in one scene, the dead William Cecil.
I play Mr. Condell, who was one of the actors who played at the Globe Theatre, and later with Mr. Hemmings, was one of the people who seemed to attribute the plays to William Shakespeare of Stratford-upon-Avon when the first folio was printed in 1623. And it's interesting to me that this film is being made in Germany. The first record of the first folio of Shakespeare appears in Germany, in Frankfurt, in 1621, 2 years before it was published in England. And the German love of Shakespeare, Goethe's love of Shakespeare, and the appreciation of Shakespeare in Germany has always been very deep and profound, and that date goes back to 1621, 2 years before 17 of the plays were even known.
And Shakespeare, in a sense, has become a kind of jingoistic brand, you know, and that is stifling. And, you know, I think this film will just give it all a bit of fizz again, you know.
You know, I don't... Let them bring forth other writers. Let them bring forth evidence that Ibsen or Chekhov or Goethe wrote without deep feeling, or Dostoevsky wrote without deep feeling and personal input there's a great deal of rubbish being put about Shakespeare.
I'd like to ask you, and any of you, to comment on the cultural fallout of what this can bring.
But this is certainly a film about the beginning of the world, as we know it.
In a weird ways, for me, you know, this time is it's about, you know, there's a certain hypocrisy and a certain, you know, like narrow-mindedness going on when it comes down to Shakespeare, and I think Shakespeare doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve, you know, like actually to be kind of presented by narrow-minded people. And when you like kind of talk about all these people who like kind of claim that like it's a conspiracy, you know, against the man from Stratford. Alone that they use the word conspiracy tells a lot about these people. And all what they do actually is character assassinations of the people who think there is doubt. And, you know, and I only kind of say, just read the list of people who doubt that William Shakespeare wrote it. And that's like a list, you know, of like kind of people who are like some of our greatest artists, our biggest writers. And I don't feel personally that these people are wrong.
Oh, that's great. That's great.